An overnight crime on campus is stirring up talk about safety here at Texas Tech. Coming up, MCTV's Patricia Perry will have the latest details and reaction to this morning's report.
Several campus organizations are ramping up their fall events calendar with options for students to do more than just go to class. Find out how you could test out your green thumb or take a walk to bring awareness to an important issue.
And the Texas Tech Red Raider football team finally made their home debut in front of a packed crowd this weekend. But fans in attendance may have been a bit disappointed in how things went down on the field. We'll have a look at that story and more in sports.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Monday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Kamryn Mendoza.
And I'm Matthew Zimmerman.
We have some breaking news today about an early morning crime that took place on the west side of campus.
MCTV's Patricia Perry joins us live in studio with the details. Patricia?
Thanks, Matthew and Kamryn. Around midnight last night, there was a report of an armed robbery that occurred outside of Clement Residence Hall. A female student was approached by a male with a gun and he took her backpack. The male exited a white Chevrolet Suburban that also had 3 other passengers in the vehicle. Police report that the vehicle is not registered to a Texas Tech student. The suspect is still at large. Clement resident Clara Scala explains how the robbery has made her feel uneasy and how she stays safe on campus.
A little scary. I was definitely glad that I was not outside. That's why usually we won't go outside alone because we're a little worried about that.
Authorities are asking everyone to keep an eye out for a 2008 white Chevrolet Suburban with the Texas license plate PLH 2353. If you see any suspicious activity, police are asking you to call the Texas Tech Police Department at 806-742-3931. Back to you, Matthew.
Thanks, Patricia. In other campus news, Texas Tech is officially kicking off the COVID vaccine incentives program this week as coronavirus infections continue to spread here on campus. The TTU vaccine incentives program was announced back in August, shortly before the start of the fall semester. Students, faculty, and staff who have been fully vaccinated are eligible to participate by entering into a series of weekly drawings that start this week. To enter the drawing, students must submit a copy of their COVID-19 vaccination card to Student Health Services online, and faculty and staff were required to fill out an entry form. The drawings kick off this Wednesday with 2 sets of prizes, one for students and another for faculty and staff. This week's student prize is a $250 Texas Tech Campus Store gift card, and the faculty and staff prize is a pair of club-level tickets to be used during football games at Jones AT&T Stadium. The names of the 50 students and 4 faculty and staff members were drawn and notified of their winnings following this week's contest. The vaccine incentive program was started in hopes of reducing the number of unvaccinated people here on campus, as well as slow the spread of COVID-19 to the university's latest COVID report from Friday. There were 314 active cases of coronavirus among faculty and staff, and students after 38 new infections were announced at the end of the week. In total, there have been 1,177 cases of COVID-19 reported since the beginning of the fall semester. For more information on the latest coronavirus numbers here on campus, as well as to find out more about the vaccine incentives program, visit emergency.ttu.edu/coronavirus.
Even though COVID-19 is still a big issue here on campus, university life has mostly returned to normal this fall. And with that return to normalcy also comes the return of a full schedule of events taking place around campus. Earlier today, the Students' Activities Board continued their fall calendar with the Lucky Bamboo event in Red Raider Plaza. Starting at noon, students could stop by and put their green thumb to the test by decorating a pot and painting a bamboo shoot. Once they completed their creation, they could then take it home to add a little plant life to their surroundings.
Well, for college students, we do like a lot of events for students and they're free. And for students that are like taking tests and like in classes and stuff, we need a little bit of luck.
Lucky Bamboo is one of dozens of activities and events hosted by the Student Activities Board throughout the school year. SAB is currently preparing for Service Week next week, as well as a full slate of fun and free events during October's homecoming festivities. For a look at SAB's full schedule for the fall semester, head over to sab.ttu.edu and click on the Events tab near the top of the page.
All last week, Texas Tech's Office of Risk Intervention and Safety Education hosted a series of events during the annual observance of Suicide Prevention Week. And late last week, the university community was invited to come together to help bring attention to this important issue. On Thursday night, RISE hosted a glow walk in Urbanowski Park. The event featured guest speakers followed by a lap around the park's walking track in an effort to bring awareness to mental health on campus. Jorgen Holgerson with RISE says that college students tend to be one of the groups most affected by mental health issues.
College students are some of the group that is affected the most by mental health, and so many college students are being away from home for the first time. They might not always have the best coping mechanisms to deal with some of the things that they're feeling.
Holgerson says that last week's events were not only meant to bring attention to the growing issue of suicide, but to let students know they have a place to talk to someone and that they have a purpose in life. Holgerson also says that symbolism was a big reason why the Glow Walk was chosen for Suicide Prevention Week.
The light is very symbolic to just reminding people that they are important, they are loved, they are cared about, and they have a purpose to be here.
If you would like more information about the RISE office or connect with one of their staff, you can visit rise.ttu.edu or call their crisis helpline at 806-742-5555. It was another hot and dry weekend here on the South Plains, with temperatures topping the 90-degree mark both Saturday and Sunday, and some areas even climbing above the 100 degrees on Saturday afternoon.
That's true, Matthew. And even though we didn't top the century mark here on campus, it was still a very warm start for this past weekend's first home football game. But it looks like we may be seeing some slight relief from the heat as we head into the middle of September. Let's take a look at the MCTV forecast. The MCTV Tower Cam has been showing clear skies throughout the day today, but even with lots of sunshine, temperatures have already been cooler than what we saw over the weekend. Highs today are only expected to reach the high 80s, and temperatures will drop back into the 60s overnight. But just like the weekend, there is no chance for rain in today's forecast. Tomorrow, we should see a near repeat of today's conditions, with highs again climbing into the upper 80s with lots of sunshine. But then on Wednesday, we'll see a small change in the weather with some clouds moving into the area. Temperatures will stick around the 80s once again, but there's a slight chance of a thunderstorm throughout the day. But on Thursday, warmer conditions will make a return to the area, and highs could climb back into the low 90s. Clear skies should also be back on Thursday, bringing in abundance of sunshine. Looking ahead, even warmer temperatures and lots of sunshine remain in the forecast as we end the week. The Texas Tech football team made their home field debut this past weekend, and luckily the Red Raiders left the field with the win. But that victory didn't come as easy as expected, leaving many fans with mixed feelings following Saturday's contest. Tech took on the Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks at Jones AT&T Stadium Saturday night, with the Red Raiders coming in as the heavy favorite to win. After a quick and easy score to start the game, SFA took over and put up 13 unanswered points. The Lumberjacks even took a 13-7 lead into halftime, leaving many fans worried Tech would drop their home opener. But after the break, the Red Raiders got to work and scored 2 touchdowns in the third quarter to get back into the lead, 21-13. But early in the fourth quarter, SFA kept things interesting by scoring another touchdown, coming within 3 points of the lead. Just over a minute later, Tech put up one more to score to stretch their lead to 9. The Lumberjacks would go on to kick a field goal and put themselves within reach of a win. On their last possession of the game, SFA would use up more than 4 minutes and 63 yards to set up a chance for a score from Tech's 7-yard line. But a last stand by the Red Raiders caused an incomplete pass on 4th down, clinching the victory for Tech. After escaping with the win, the Red Raiders will now gear up for their last non-conference opponent as they welcome Florida International to town for another Saturday showdown at the Jones. Kickoff for this week's game is also set for 6 p.m. with TV coverage on ESPN+.
The Texas Tech volleyball team has been off to a decent start this year in non-conference play. Over the weekend, the team hit the road to put their skills to the test during the annual University of Colorado's Buffs Invitational in Boulder. The Red Raiders started off tournament play on Friday at 11 a.m. with a matchup against the home team at the CU Event Center. Tech took on Colorado in 4 sets, with the Red Raiders losing set 1, 29-31, and set 2, 21-25. The team came back to win set 3, 25-18, but dropped the fourth and final set, 14-25. Even with the loss, several players had a big day on the court. Sophomore Kenneth Sawyer had a double with a career-high 16 kills. Senior Brooke Canas scored 19.5 points with 14 kills and 6 blocks, and junior Reagan Cooper and senior Carrington Jones each contributed 10 kills against the Buffs. After a rough start in the Invitational, the Red Raiders came back on Saturday to face San Jose State at 1 p.m. Tech went on an almost completely opposite result from the previous day, beating the Spartans 3-0 with the win. Tech's records now stand at 7-3 for the season. Next up, the Red Raiders will head to Birmingham, Alabama for their last weekend of non-conference play in the Green Wave Volleyball Invitational. The team will tip off in their first of 3 contests against Alabama Birmingham at 12:30 p.m. on Friday, followed by a 4:30 start that afternoon against Tulane. Tech will wrap up the road trip against home state foe Sam Houston on Saturday at 11 a.m.
Football and volleyball weren't the only headlines in the local sports world this weekend. A big announcement caught the attention of not only Red Raider fans, but the entire country late last week. On Friday morning, the Big 12 Conference formally invited 4 new schools to join the league. Those schools include Brigham Young, Central Florida, Cincinnati, and Houston. All 4 schools have consistently been ranked among the top teams in multiple Division I sports, and each have been a part of non-Power 5 conferences before the call up to the Big 12. The addition of the 4 new teams comes after the universities of Texas and Oklahoma formally decided to move to the SEC after their current media contract ends in 2025. The 4 new teams are expected to join the Big 12 no later than the 2024 and 2025 season. Texas Tech Athletics Department isn't the only part of campus seeing big changes this year.
That's right, Kamryn. With the campus returning to normal conditions, there's a lot of new things happening here at the university, and those changes include the addition of several new organizations for students to join. Here in the College of Media and Communication, one new option for students in the Diversity in Media organization. The organization promotes diversity, equity, and inclusion for students pursuing careers in the media. President of DEMO, Martha Hodgins, says the organization was created to give people of all backgrounds a place to come together to have a difficult conversation while creating community.
Diversity in media means to me is that it gives everybody an opportunity to be heard. It gives us a chance to grow from each other, to create empathy, to understand that everybody's story is different, but that doesn't mean that we're not relatable. We can have things in common. We can, be best friends and grow with each other, but understanding that, hey, they come from different backgrounds, they have a different story, but that's what makes them unique, and then that's what makes me unique.
DEMO plans to have guest speakers to come talk to the organization, along with informational events to help students gain knowledge from resources available on campus. Hodgins says that even though the group was created for students with a media focus, anyone can join.
For this podcast, it's called
We welcome everybody. Everybody has a story. You don't have to be 100%, one ethnicity or, an eighth, and you're not going to be included. We want everybody to join.
For more information on the Diversity in Media organization and how you can join, you can contact Martha Hodgins using the email address listed on your screen.
So Matthew, have you heard about the Diversity in Media organization?
Kamryn, I actually haven't. I got an email about it the other day. I just haven't got a chance to look into it yet, but I will do that.
It sounds like a great organization. That's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you on Thursday.